Let's face it, life isn't easy. If you're stuck in a bad relationship, betrayed or afraid of tomorrow, financially insecure or desperate for a breakthrough, you've come to the right place. Dr. Carmen Harra is a renowned psychologist, intuitive, relationship expert, and best-selling author, and she's here to give you the miracle guidance you need. Her new call-in show, Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life, offers profound wisdom, practical advice, daily exercises, and empowering predictions, all for you. Dr. Harra's show aims to eliminate everyday problems, big and small, with topics like healing your relationships, reclaiming your power, achieving better health, dealing with loss, and so much more. Regain the joy, stability, and fulfillment you deserve to feel. Tune in to Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life with host Dr. Carmen Harra, live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and find the answers you've been looking for.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Miracle Guidance. I'm Dr. Carmen Harra, and tonight I'll be very happy to talk to you about where are we going in the world right now, and what is my perspective of the future of the world, and we are going to evaluate the future of our world. And no one can deny that we are passing through turbulent times. From pandemics to protests and political unrest, we are sweeping the nation. As we watch the action unfold on TV and in person, we are left with this uncomfortable question: where are we going? Will we be okay? So everybody is asking this: are we going to be okay? So almost everyone I speak on a daily basis is increasingly uncertain and worried about tomorrow, and rightfully so, because the systems that we've established are kind of losing stability and becoming less functional than ever. We are starting to understand that things are coming to an end, yet in many more ways we feel like we're on the brink of a new beginning. So inside of ourselves, I think we detect tremendous change and upheaval, and we can pinpoint exactly what will be, what will happen. And I understand the fear, the concern, and that's why I said the most important show will be to talk about what's happening and how can we control ourselves, how we come together, and how can we vision where we're going, because where we're going is a result of what happened in the past and the result of what's happening in the moment. Now, you know very well, since the dawn of time, our world has been run by a handful of people who have commanded our destinies, and we've been controlled in one way or another by the will of our leaders and political figures. But this, I think, will not hold true in the future, because without a doubt, the planet is in the middle of the crisis that has never been experienced before. So because everything seems to be crumbling, and I mean that literally, from the statues of politicians and political individuals to structures literally collapsing due to this violent outburst, the world cannot go back to the way it was. I think that our saving grace lies in acknowledging the totality of what's happening. And I really believe we must admit that these developments are affecting us all in the same manner. And whatever you rich or you poor, whatever you white, black or brown, young or old, the universe is forcing us to find our common ground, that we are all here to give and to receive and to assist each other and to fulfill our highest purpose. I mean, this is something we can all agree on. My understanding is that this kind of a dark era is coming to an end. All these 1,000 years of wrong action, difficult karma that humanity carried is coming to an end, to a resolution. And we are entering, according to all the calculation, to all the prediction, to all the prophecies, the so-called golden era. the end of the era of the Pisces, which the Pisces symbolize the unknown, the subconscious mind, the darkness within our mind, and we entering the era of the Aquarius, which is equivalent with the light, with the era of enlightenment, the golden era. And I think that the human race has reached its peak of growth, and now we're finally moving up the scale of evolution that's equipped with a superior level of experience and with, I think, incredible complexity. The real world, as it exists now, will soon become just a distant memory of a time of darkness. You're probably going to ask me how soon. You're going to ask me how long this is going to take. Well, my understanding is that we have 13 years ahead of us, to make all the necessary changes and to collectively join forces so that life on Earth will change completely. Because we stand on the edge of an incredible planetary transformation during which we'll recognize the reality of who we are and emerge into this light of knowledge. As you know very well, knowledge is power. So you wake him up, we're becoming more knowledgeable than we've ever been in the way we perceive our abilities, the chances that we have, the mistake that we made, and how can we turn our reality around. And the key to our power is to acknowledge that we are all one into it and part of some divine force at the same time. And if you believe in these statements, we can achieve things we never thought would be possible and will be granted powers we've never dreamed of, then I can tell you there is unique energy that flows through us, and that unique energy is going to save us. And the love for each other is going to save us and is going to create this new reality. I think that everything we've experienced lately with all these diseases, with all these fights, all these conflicts we've been growing are just a reflection of thousands of years of struggling in which humanity had to go through to the pain, the suffering, the karmic experiences that we created. And, including this pandemic, because everything is a reflection of something that is within us. A disease and a collective disease that affects us globally, it's a reflection of something that existed within us. And something very interesting, in the last 6 billion years, every planet and every satellite in our system has made a certain number of rotations, all to reach that perfect alignment. There's a perfect alignment we're talking about. But that perfect alignment will happen very soon. The reason we've seen more and more energy in our solar system has caused planets to appear brighter, lighter, and warmer. We're talking about the warmer of the planet because there's this alignment makes planets brighter and consequently warmer. So in addition to affecting our solar system, this energy is alive, intelligent, and has entered our body, activating our DNA and enlightening our minds and taking us like a step forward. At the same time, it also escalated tension on a larger scale at the political, economic, religious, and social world, because those are the dimension of our existence that have been created long time ago, and they haven't been progressing. They cannot move forward. So we sense the blockages that exist at the economic level, the injustices at the political, economic, religious, and social level. So, but as our planet is raising its vibration, we will actually see a liberation. So if you think like we look in the universe, the Earth is kind of moving through galaxies, entering a field of vibration that will change, as I said, the human DNA, and that will actually allow us to live healthier, to live longer lives, and also, as I said, perceiving and honoring life on Earth, also from the perspective of divine energy that exists within ourselves. So this movement, humanity reaches that connection with the divine world, with the spirit world. and will be witness an amazing new reality. Now, the world around us will also take on a new meaning and a new significance, a new importance. Because as I said, entering this gold age in which the cosmic cycle of darkness is ending, we are making more contact with the world beyond our physical world. Now, this perspective probably sounds promising, but I would probably love to go more in details about what's happening, and kind of, project the future, which I actually did a long time ago, like 20 years ago in my first book, Everyday Karma. Because, I believe that prediction have a psychological impact, and I make predictions all the time to make people open doors in their mind. And prediction can give birth to a dream and open a door to a new possibility. And yet I tell you, people are often surprised when I tell them something, a vision that they can anticipate. And people can be extremely surprised, going back to my book 20 years ago that talks about this era that we are living right now, and talks about the collapse of all the systems, and talks about the new world that's emerging between 2000 to 2033. Actually, in that interview, I have to give myself credit because probably many of you don't remember this, but in that interview with William Nurich from New York Times in 2003, I always said that, the world goes through this transition to 2033, and that if we're not transitioning properly, this has, unfortunately, the danger of becoming catastrophic. So I'm not scaring anybody. I'm just realistically seeing that if this situation is kept out of control, then, we will experience out of this chaotic state of spirit, more and more tragedies coming for us globally. But hopefully we will be able to overcome all of this, and we will be able to improve our quality of life, and we will be able to take action, and we will emerge stronger from this turbulent time. And we are going to enter this era of peace and higher consciousness. And we need to stop being scared. We need to stop fighting against each other. And then we will start seeing our future becoming brighter every day. So that's why if you want to call me in and tell me about you and the way you see the world right now and your feelings about what's happening in the world, the number to call in is 202-570-7057. And I would love to connect with you all the time through Carmen Harra on Facebook, Carmen Harra on Instagram. Write me at Carmen Harra, CarmenHarra @AOL.com. My name, one word. So, and ask me if there's something that you need to know. I'm always here for you. But today, 202-570-7057, Christopher is actually an extraordinary producer. He will pick up your calls and he will connect you with me so that we can see, what's going on together. Because as I said, humanity will embrace its true nature. So I will talk about what I see happening, and you let me know if you agree or what is your own vision, because we all are in our own world very intuitive, and we all have our own visions, and we all perceive the future probably sometimes differently, but it's okay to talk, and let's see how can we participate, all of us, in transforming and reforming the world we are living in. So I know there's a lot of you calling tonight, and I would love to take your calls. And many of you are my old friends, and I'm going to go to Helena in New York. And then all of you that are online, I will ask Christopher to let me know who's calling me in the same time. I will take all your calls, and then we'll talk about some of the things that seem to unfold in the very near future. Then I'm going to go to Helena. Hi, my Helena, my dear friend. How are you?
Hi, Carmen. I'm all right. How are you?
Good.
To hear your talk. I'm
Good.
eager to hear what
Good.
you think is going on. It's very hard to sort out everything that we hear, and I'm finding
Right.
that so many people, even of a somewhat spiritual bent seem to be into conspiracy theories and all that, and it's surprising to me that how much of that is going on. I wonder, first of all, what you think of that, and certainly your advice on how to personally deal with things of this era right now and how to maintain, our center.
Well, I think that we should all be very calm, because if we start panicking, and it looks that there are a lot of people panicking and dominated by negative emotion, we make things worse. And that's one of the reasons that people need to release this negative emotion. I found this marching in the street and all the way of protesting a way to release the tension, the fear, the negativity that exists within ourselves, this uncertainty that what's going to happen. Also, many millions of people without jobs. It's a very scary feeling for so many of us. And I interpret this as a reflection of a chaotic state of mind in the collective mind of the planet Earth. And I also believe that it's the danger is that we'll expand other parts of the world. There is a reason for it. There is a reason, because we want to change the foundation of institutions. They want to change the foundation of the life that we are living. That is a very unfair life for our people. So there's like a number of people who own all the wealth, and the majority struggle in this time, and they don't have food on the table, and they were left without jobs. And this is where, that all these panic attacks come from, the depression comes from, and it's a collective depression, because everybody I've been talking to complains about being severely demoralized and not knowing how to change their lives, and they see no light.
Yes, it's so hard to know how to think or what to do. Right.
The reality is that this what's happening now will expand, and people will the way I see this happening, will take the streets and will continue, to express their dissatisfaction with the injustices, starting with the police and then continuing with all the systems. The new laws will have to be passed to reestablish order in the world, new laws to reduce the power of the police, laws also based on, say, the fundamental aspects of our systems that seem not to work. And the problem is right now that there is a lot of confusion that will be reflected in the election. I see that the upcoming election will be extremely controversial. And it's interesting that the Chinese horoscope 2020 is the year of the metal rat, and the rat signifies wealth in the Chinese culture, and is also in the terms of yin and yang, it represents a new beginning. Metaphorically, it's like a new day. Something radical has to take place, bringing a new sense of wealth in the world, if we interpret just this Chinese horoscope. But I'm not going by that Chinese. I'm going by what I said 20 years ago, in which I said that the collapse of a system has to happen to give birth to a new system. And I don't really see, I remember Trump talking before the pandemic how amazing the economy is, and me making a incredible prediction that actually I see a total crash of the economy, and that absolutely seemed to contradict the reality. And that was like by the time that Trump was actually talking how amazing our economy, I said, well, this economy is going to crash completely. So there was no way that economy could have crashed unless something like an intervention could have happened. And that's exactly what happened. So, and I don't actually see how the economy will recover, because that's not going to happen. And I don't know how the financial market are going to improve, because that's actually not going to happen. And the reason this is not happening, it should not scare us. It should make us see that this is not happening because there's something that might not serve, is not for our well-being. So what I actually see happening is a completely giving birth to a new monetary system. For years and years, I talk about one monetary system.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
All over the globe. I talked for over 20 years. 30 years ago, I said that Europe will have one monetary system, and then many years ago, I went to Europe after 17 years. I haven't been there. I saw euros in every country. So one monetary system. Now I see one monetary system all over the globe. So we're not going to have euros, dollars. This is going to be the shocker, but there would be no other way, because the leaders of the world, we will have, to come together and agree to redefine and restructure the monetary system. And when we do that, we're going to see many other aspects of our society, of our reality, redefining. Most likely, I think aside from the economy, I think religion will have completely go to a completely new beginning, like almost like a new spiritual leader. People will need a new inspiration, exactly like 2,000 years ago was the birth of Jesus Christ. We go 4,000 years ago was the Judaism, so the Kabbalah. So through 2000 to 2000, always there's something new coming for humanity. So I feel like religions will also come uniting us, because we've been very divided by the concept of religion. I see the banking system in a complete crash. People having 1929 will be nothing in comparison with the banking crash. It looks like everything is fine for now.
Oh my God.
For now, it's on the radio and gets recorded on the radio. And that's why I even want to be recorded on the radio, because let's see what's going to happen 10 months from now, a year and a half from now, how these banks are going to start to feel their full collapse. So people having a lot of money in the banks, they might not have anything in the bank. So people will say, so then what should we do? Well, make sure you have solid things instead of papers that might not mean anything. So because all of this is going to happen suddenly. It might or might not happen with the control of some leaders of the world, because I actually see many of this so-called people, the 1%, that they lead our world, that have all the money in the world and majority struggle. Some of them are going to die. Some of them, we're going to see such a shift at that level. So humanity is not going to be controlled by that 1% anymore, which again, it's impossible to believe, because this world was dominated by those people who have all the money. So the changes are so beyond our imagination, so beyond our expectation, then they're still going to happen beyond anybody's power. Those 1%, they have all the power. They think they control the world until now, but not from now on. So that's why the world will be completely reformed. There are extraordinary positive things that will happen when it comes to health, when it comes to living longer lives, when it comes to the paradox is, in spite of this pandemic, actually humanity will live longer. In spite of this virus, humanity, which will be other viruses. 13 years life on Earth is not going to be easy. That's my prediction. For the next 13 years, we'll keep seeing one episode after the other, because it's exactly like a house that's crumbling and it's falling apart till it completely falls apart, and then you demolish it and you build another house. It's symbolically, that's happening in the world right now. We're demolishing something to create something different. And we've been through this, but probably never as dramatic. Never, ever as dramatic as now. But what I see out of it is so incredibly powerful and right and different and fair. And it's eliminating all the structures. It's even hard to believe, because we never thought that we can do something so drastic, but is going to unfold in front of our eyes, So from 2020 are the years of awakening, when we realize how serious the situation is, when we have to come, all of us together, we have to find ways of dealing with natural disaster, climate change, monetary issues, everything to be condensed into one so that we can survive, making sure that we're acting like one nation, you know. In almost every place on earth will be experiencing a financial strain, so because we're in together. No one can say, well, here in Australia is perfect and the rest of the world struggle. That's not going to be the case. We all going to look in the same way, and this will be happening to all of us. But the discoveries in the medical field will be absolutely incredible. We'll reverse the aging process. We will see medical breakthrough in terms of curing diseases we never thought we'd be able to do, not depending so many drugs, living way longer life, you know, a lot of advancement in the medical field at the cellular level, at the behavior level. We will see the feminine energy becoming stronger, more women here and there in position of power. We actually, at the DNA level, we increase in complexity. That's why our mental capacity, the level of perception will change in a positive way. Belief system will change up to a point that, you know, mankind really understands the common belief system. So it's like I'm giving you something, an overall picture, putting a little bit of everything, like trying to make a soup with every ingredient. But it's incredible how all of this is going to happen in this period of the next 13 years. And
well,
yeah.
Sorry, no, it's astounding. I mean, I wanted to ask just in the short term for people like me who are.
Hang in there, I'll go back to you. Hang in there, I'll go to a short break and I'll come back.
Okay.
Just a second, okay.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM-FM.
OMTimes magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organisation, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. Connect at omtimes.com. OMTimes, creating a more conscious lifestyle.
My name is Victor Furman. Some call me The Voice. I've always been fascinated with human nature, spirituality, science, and the crossroads at which they meet. Join me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio, and we'll explore these topics and so much more on Destination Unlimited.
A social distancing tip.
While the CDC urges you to avoid close contact, like hugging or shaking hands, there are other non-physical ways to say hello. Wave, wink, use sign language, salute, smile, give the peace sign, throw up an air high five, do jazz hands. Remember, stay a minimum of 6 feet or 2 arms length away from others, and stay home if you can. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #alone together. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Yeah, Helena, you're still with me, so
Yeah.
do you have any specific questions? I have so much to say. I think I would need probably hours and hours, never stop talking about how amazing all the changes are. But feel free to ask me anything you think you need to know, or just whatever question you might have. I'll be glad to hear.
I just wanted to ask in the short term for people like me who are not in the 1%, do you think there will be more government assistance coming, or, I mean, what do you see happening in the short term?
Yeah, help will come from the government, because the government will try desperately to help people. So there will be a very serious effort, you know what I mean? I see that effort is clear to me. that they want to help. So a lot of stimulus, they will try to find the resources to help people like you and many other people who struggle, people with unemployment, up to a point in which by the fall end of the year, they're not going to have any more resources. But so far, they desperately, you know what I mean, they will definitely try to do everything in their power to help people. And that's going to be very good for you and very good for a lot of other people. Except that this is not a solution. The solution is you don't try to bring that person back to life. You try to give birth to a new person, you know?
Right.
So I don't think that what they're trying to do is actually going to work. It's like, but they don't know any other way because they want to save themselves. You know, they want to save the situation, and they want to get this somehow. You know, they want to continue to get it done, hoping for surviving of something, hoping that person to continue to live. But that's not, as I said, that's not the right approach. They don't know any better, and at some point they will be forced to give up. And that's why by the time of the election, it's going to reach a peak in conflict. It's going to reach a peak in discord. You know what I mean? And I tell you the truth, how I see the world. Queen of England is the last queen, and there will be no more queens. The Pope is the last Pope. There will be no more popes. Wow. So Christianity comes to an end. Monarchy comes to an end. Presidency comes to an end. Dictatorship comes to an end. We're going to see dictators. I actually think that John Woon is that. I personally think if he's not, he is on the brink of going there. I don't know if Putin will survive because I don't see that happening either. I don't see this presidency surviving either. So all this form of leadership, they're coming to an end. And I'm 100% sure. I said this 20 years ago, Queen of England is the last one. She survived until now because there's nothing coming after her. The England, the monarchy there is over. Papacy, Christianity with the Pope preaching in front of nobody, that means it's over. Presidency, look the conflictual situation when it comes to a president. Look what a president has been going through if this is called a presidency. What does it mean? Coming to an end. All the dictatorship is coming to an end. So we are going through that ending of all the things that went on and on and on for hundreds of years, for a very long period of time. Everything is coming to an end. This era is closing door to everything that humanity created for a very long time to open doors to a new humanity. This is the way I see it.
Wow.
And I'm convinced that I'm right. I'm so convinced.
That's incredible. Wow.
Right? There will be no more kings in England. There will be no more popes. There will be, and people say, oh, really? How can it be? That's impossible. That's absolutely impossible. Well, we'll leave. This exists on the radio, and we'll see. We'll talk a year, 5 years later, 10 years later. Might take a bit of time. But I think we're going to start seeing this starting with this year and the presidency that we're going to see. Because I also think that the forms of leadership, all these forms of leadership, they don't work anymore. They don't work. People don't trust anybody anymore. Deep in their hearts, that's when people march in the street the way they are in America, and that's just the beginning of people marching in the street. You watch and see how people are going to march in the street all over the globe, trying to get out of all these ruling systems that are causing too much pain, suffering, injustice, you know what I mean, trying to redefine the stability, the structure of everything on Earth.
Yeah, well, it's already happening.
Sorry?
It's already happening. Oh,
that's what I'm saying. We start to see it. I saw it for 20 years ago, and people look at me and said, what are you talking about? I said, well, that's what comes in my mind, and I'm going to put it in a book. And I put it in numerous books. I kept on insisting that my message should be heard. And I know my message is there for many years. And I see it happening now. I actually said 20 years ago that Queen of England is the last queen, and there are no more queens after this. And I live to see that this woman couldn't give up. She's almost 100 years old, and she's still there because she knows she's the last one. And that symbolizes the end of an era for hundreds of years. And the Pope preaching to no one, that symbolizes the end of a religion. And people will continue to say, yeah, we are Catholic, we continue. But if you realize people don't go to churches anymore, they don't, you know what I mean? There's a shift in the belief system. It's not that they don't want to be religious. It's not that they don't believe in Jesus Christ, don't get me wrong. It's changing, finding a new way to express the connection with the divine and finding a new Messiah. When Jesus said 2,000 years ago, I'm coming back, well, guess what? He is going to be back in a different form, probably with a different name, but there's a new leader that is not yet there, that will come to life in this next 13 years.
Wow. Well, I hope I live long enough to get through the worst.
Oh, yes, you will. You will. You will. You'll live to see many of the things we're talking about. Yep.
It's amazing. Well, I know you'll write more about it and talk more about it.
Anyhow, Helen, I love you, and thank you so much for calling me. I'm going to go and take some more people on my radio show today, but I'm grateful because you're my friend for so many years. I really appreciate you. And stay safe, stay calm, and good luck with your new book and all your TV shows and everything. I love you so much. Thank you.
I love you too. Thank you. We'll be in touch.
Okay, my dear.
Thanks
I'm going to go to Skylar. Hi, Skylar. How are you, my dear?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How can I help you, my dear Skylar?
Okay, just simple questions. I've been dating this guy for 14 months now, and it's gone a little bit downhill. And he's got OCD and a temper. Do you see it getting better?
Okay. Do you mind telling me his name?
Riley.
Riley. Let's see what Riley. Let me concentrate on Riley. He's not a bad guy. He cares about you. Do you see that?
Yes, I do for sure.
I think that you are very tired of his nonsense, and he's trying very hard. I think with your participation, this can get better. By the month of August or November, you will be introduced by one of your female friends to someone else that I think has an M.A. name. I'm not saying you're going to go for the other person, but call me on the radio when that happens. Does this get better to answer in a simple way? Yes. If you are more forgiving of him and more understanding the root of his problem, I have a feeling his problem has something to do with his mother. Do you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay. Because you've never tried to dig to the source of the problem, and probably not even him. He was not fully aware where the damage is coming from. I feel there's a bit of a damage since he was 9 years old or 13 years old. Something happened. Try to talk to him about what happened to him. His mom was very forced him to want to go to the Air Force Academy. And he was very smart, but then he just kind of got mad and just went against it and became I don't really care about school anymore. And then they butt heads, but now they're fine. And he's in the Coast Guard, but I was only curious because he's very controlling is all in the relationship. Well, the controlling comes from something that has been done to him when he was really young. Like Freud used to say, everything goes back to the childhood. And I feel like that's the source of his controlling. But I really believe he cares about you. And if you think and put it in the perspective, all that matters is the fact that he does care, if you agree with me. And there is a way of getting better, making this relationship better.
Okay. Well,
so I should say give him a chance. And try to talk to him about where is this controlling come, because my opinion goes back to what he has been forced to do as a boy, and he was really young. And from there, he has this tendency to do things compulsively, and from there, all this emotional trauma that he carried with him. But in essence, he is actually a good man, and he does care about you a lot. So there is a way to work on healing this relationship and making it better.
Do you think he should go to see someone to talk to?
Yes, I think he will benefit tremendously to talk to someone, especially a woman, not a man.
Yeah,
someone who can have that. Sorry?
Do you think he would go?
Yeah, because he knows there's something within his soul that he wants to release. And then he will feel better. Then the controlling issue will kind of be reduced, slow down, and he will start to act differently. And the caring and love for you will become more clear, more obvious.
Okay. And one more question. Do you see me marrying him, or?
I think that if you want, you have all the chances of marrying this man. It's becoming your free will. But don't forget, I do mention another man, and I want you to give me a call if that happens, because I don't want you to act on an impulse or just make a decision based on what we are talking. When you do meet this other person that I give you some details, feel free to call back, okay?
Okay.
Because there will be a choice. There will be a choice. So that says it all.
Got it.
Thank you, my Tyler, for calling me. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go to Kim. Hi, my lovely Kim. How are you, my dear?
Good, Carmen. How are you?
I'm good. You?
I'm doing well.
Good. How can I help?
So I was curious. What's my love life looking like? I have a guy that I've been talking to. I'm going to finally meet him after the coronavirus tomorrow evening. He does live a little bit of a distance away, and you did say a couple of months ago that I was going to meet somebody in June. So I don't know. I'm kind of anxious about tomorrow, and I was just curious if this would go anywhere, or what do you see from my love life?
I feel a very positive energy. I think he's a nice man. Now, nobody's perfect. He probably has issues in expressing himself. Let me know if he wears glasses from time to time, at least for reading. And let me know if he has, let me know if he wears glasses after meeting him. I'm just curious. I see this man wearing glasses. In my mind, that picture of him is somebody who takes glasses to read or something like this. And he might have a dog.
He does,
but I think he does?
Yeah. He has like a black, I think, retriever or something.
Yeah, I see his dog, and I see him wearing glasses. I see a man who smiles. He's nice. He means well. He has his own issues, because who doesn't? Just to be realistic.
Wait, what's that? I'm sorry, what was that?
He has his issues. Like everybody has their own memories, their emotions, things that they need to process. But he's open. He seems to have a nice nature. He's willing to communicate, which is a positive thing. I really like him. I really feel very good about this meeting. And I want you to go there with an open heart. And I want you to think seriously about giving him a chance and being open to him. And don't go there scared or unsure, or just go there knowing something good is coming out of it.
Okay. Do you think the distance between us, where we live, we live 2 hours away?
No, I don't see that being a problem. No.
Do you know if he travels a lot?
He does travel, but not lately. Nobody travels. Put it this way, So he might not be.
No, yeah. Well, he's traveling right now. I just didn't know if he's traveling a lot. I didn't know if he normally travels.
I see this man traveling, but under the circumstances happening right now, he's traveling is less.
Yeah.
To put it this way, now he travels less.
So do you see? Okay, so there's that's a good opportunity, and travel doesn't seem like a big deal. But do you see this working out, or do you see another person coming in my life?
Don't work out. Kim, if we don't participate, things don't work out. If we don't do our part, nothing works out. So what I'm trying to say is do your part to entice him. Do your part in engaging, in communicating, in showing him your good intention. And this relationship will grow, will get better, will fly. You understand?
Okay. When will it start getting stronger?
Give it 3 weeks. Give it a little bit of time. Under the circumstance of what's happening in the world, everything is a little bit put on hold. Everything, sort of like the energy is like frozen. Nothing moves, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you will start to see things getting way better.
Okay. And then, do you see anyone else in my future?
I think we should not jump to anything else. I think this is a wonderful person that you should take advantage. You know what I mean?
I would love to. I just feel like this distant thing might, 2 hours.
No, you're already blocking it. You know, when you think this way.
You're right.
You're already putting a blockage and putting a stop on it. And that's wrong. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm just very fair and honest, and I'm telling you exactly how I feel. I feel you should not think anything else other than let me try to make something out of it. So if I already go to this by projecting the fact that, I don't think I can go for this, because you already have a way to deny this before even giving a check.
I was just hoping he wouldn't have that. Like, I'm willing. I've been pursuing him.
He's not. So we good. Yeah, we good.
Yay. All right, I'm going to just focus on him and no blockage.
Just go focus on him. Give him all the chances. Just go there with a total optimism. Go there, be the most optimistic person in the world. Okay.
All right, and he seems to be like a loyal person.
Yeah, he looks like a honorable person. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right.
All right, my beautiful. I love you, my dear Kim. I'm going to go to Julia. Hi, Julia, my love.
Great to talk to you again. It's been a while.
How are you, my love?
I'm, like a lot of people, feeling the stress and anxiety of everything going on. So I just wanted to connect with you, see what's good coming my way, something to look forward to. I just really need something positive.
A lot of good stuff happening in the next 3 months, 8 months, even opportunities. 2 of them, one that seems to come somewhere end of August, another one end of October, an opportunity to do something creative, even the possibility of traveling somewhere, which you're going to try to put on hold, but I would suggest you to consider it. The chance of an investment, do you plan to buy something?
I'm open to it. I've been watching those homesteading videos.
You can, you know what I mean? If you can invest, it's a fabulous time to still invest. As the time goes by, people are going to have a hard time buying properties because banks are not going to give mortgages anymore. It's going to be harder and harder for this to happen. So, and it's going to be more and more difficult to find a home. So try to consider seriously having a property, It doesn't have to be tomorrow, but in the very, very near future. Think seriously, because I see you doing it.
Okay.
And I'm excited about that. Yeah.
Do you feel that's here in Florida, or do you feel it's some other state? Because that's one of the things I've been thinking about moving. I can't really pinpoint where is the best place. My daughter lives in Kansas City, Kansas.
If you want to go closer to your daughter, that's probably where you should go. I still think that Kansas is very safe. I also think that where you are in Florida seems to be safe.
I live, out by Disney.
Right.
I live like in the rural area, kind of rural.
Right. If you're telling me that, I have a very strong sense of moving from there, though you're safe there. So it's possible that you're going to probably move closer to your daughter, but consider the possibility of an investment.
Okay.
I would really, really want you to do that because that's going to be amazing, you know.
Awesome. And you're talking about a home, investment in a home, right?
Yes, do it. Please do
Okay.
it. Do me this pleasure and let me know how beautiful your new home will be because it's going to happen. And I love you so much, Julia.
I love you. Thank you so much.
I love you, my sweetheart. Hi, Valerie from California. How are you, my dear?
Hi, Carmen. I'm fine. How are you?
To hear you, my dear Valerie. Tell me any questions that you have for me. I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm still looking to get into a relationship. Do you see that this summer?
Yes, 100%. And I actually like this person for you. I think it's talking about a new beginning and talking about the excitement of something different and something better that you haven't had in a long time. I encourage you to go for it. This is a very romantic person, somebody who's going to make you feel gorgeous and beautiful, who's going to treat you like a queen, who's going to send you flowers. I love this person for you.
And what month do you see this coming?
I see somewhere anything between second part of the summer, August, even September, you know, that going towards the fall. A day of a 24 comes to me, which is very rare because I don't have specific, but in this case I have a specific date. I actually see very strong somebody who has a name who starts with a G or a J, GJ sound of a name, and I see somebody who's really a gentleman, which they rarely exist in this world anymore. But
right.
I'm excited for you.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you,
yes.
And
I love you.
Health-wise, I was going to ask about my health. Do you see that going pretty good
I don't pick up anything wrong with your health. Physically, there's nothing wrong. It can be something mental, emotional, which we're all going through, but not really physical. So I think physically you're very okay.
Okay.
So, and I'm going to the end of the show, and I know I have somebody from Australia. Anna, I know she wants to talk to me. Anna, if you can give me a call, I'll give you a free session for next time. I love you guys. I'm Carmen Harra. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Carmen.
And
thank you.
I love you, and God bless you, all of you. I'll be with you next time, same place, OMTime Radio.